I can simplify expressions using order of operations. Occasionally, you'll see a little bit more complex order of operations problem given to you, and it's usually with this fraction bar running right there. And the best thing that I can recommend to do is basically just think of it as two different problems. Let me get my highlighter out here and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Here on blue, this part right here, is the top part of the problem. Think of that as its own problem. Then think of the bottom as its own problem. Only after you've simplified the top and bottom, and only then, should you really think about rewriting it as a fraction again. So let's go ahead and do this. 5 plus parentheses 6 minus 3 close parentheses times 4. Well, our order of operations is this. And this should be a review. We do parentheses first. So here we go. 6 minus 3 is 3. So that would be 5 plus 3 times 4. Then we have to come through and take care of our multiplication. So now that gives us 5 plus 12. And that's the last thing that we have to do is just add, and that lets us be able to come through and say, okay, this whole thing is 17. Now, let's go through and look at this. 7 squared minus 3 parentheses 4 plus negative 6 parentheses. Very first thing we need to do is parentheses, so 4 plus negative 6. Negative 2. Now, before we multiply, we need to make sure that we've taken care of the exponents. So let's go through and do that. That makes it 49 minus 3 times negative 2. Well, and I'll underline that. Before we do the subtraction, we still have to make sure we take care of the multiplication. So 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And that leaves us with 49 minus negative 6. Keep change, change. That's going to make it 55. So our whole problem here is really 17 divided by 55, and we can't simplify that any further. So this is our final answer. Again, the key to it is just treat the top as its own problem. Just run it through the normal paces. Do the exact same thing to the bottom problem. Be very careful that you know which one is which. You don't want to put the 17 on the bottom and the 55 up top. That would be awful to actually be able to basically work out the problem, and then just a simple organization error cost you points. Simplify the fraction if you can. In this case, we can't. And do that after you've taken care of the top and bottom.